up? Thank you so much for coming back to my channel and hanging out. I wanted to make a video today just about like kind of things that have been going on, and I just felt like I need to make this video before I probably most likely put any other videos out there, so I wanted to do this today. First of all, thank you so much for coming back, for hanging out. My channel is Angie at the Bumblebee Farmhouse. If you guys didn't know, I'm Angie, and I hope you guys all had a wonderful Christmas and that you all had a wonderful New Year. I mean, we all entered the new year, and then this last week, like, a bunch of crap has been going on, and I just feel like it's a horrible repeat of 2020. But anyway, here we are. It's 2021, and I just wanted to hang out with you guys for a little bit. I actually just drank my coffee, but if you guys have a few minutes, go get a tea or coffee or whatever so we can hang out. It's a little cold here today. Actually not as bad as other years for the new year, but I'm still cold. So I'm just hanging out with Archie right now, and Danny's at work, and I just felt like I wanted to make this video. I am wearing a hat, you guys, because my gray hair is pretty bad. I have not touched up my grays because I have been depressed, sad, not sad. I've been sad, and I just haven't really taken the time to pay attention to myself. But that's all going to change. So Archie, don't do that. Nobody. Hey. All right. So I don't know if you guys have followed any of my other videos, and actually I think I started YouTube in 2015 or 2016, just making some videos here and there. And in my videos, sometimes you would have seen my dog Gizmo with me, and you guys, we lost Gizmo. It has been one of the hardest things that I've ever had to go through, and I just wanted to like just put it out there that I lost my best friend. He was literally like one of my best friends. I just love the kid so much, but we lost him, and it was just like a decision that I had to pretty much make. My husband said it's pretty much your decision when you make the call, and I did make the call. Obviously, I wanted him to agree with me, because that's not a decision that one should make by themselves if you have like a family, obviously. And so pretty much what's been going on with Gizmo, excuse me, is he hasn't been doing well the last, I would say probably since July, around there. And we just noticed some changes, and we kind of knew what was coming because he was almost 14 and a half years old. So he's an old dog, you know, and old dogs get a lot of things, have a lot of problems. And he was healthy all the way up until 14 and a half. But his last like probably 6 months were really hard for him. And I did everything I could to make him comfortable and happy. I don't know if I could have done more, but I really honestly in my heart believe that I did so much, because I knew that if I took him into the vet, I knew what they were going to tell me, you know, to discuss euthanasia, because he was an old dog, and he was a Pekingese, and he was amazing. He was like the most beautiful dog. Sorry guys. He was the most beautiful dog, like one of the best friends I could have ever had. I had him since he was a puppy, since he was almost 3 months old, and he was just amazing. He was just an amazing dog and an amazing friend, and I knew that, you know, taking him in, like, I didn't want to put him to sleep without trying some things first. So I wanted to go the holistic route, because I didn't want to give him any sort of injections or anything like that. I didn't want to put his body through anything. So we literally tried all these different vitamins and supplements, and they did help. They did show like an improvement. And then we got Archie, and it like perked him up a little bit and got him curious. And you know, I honestly believe if I didn't get Archie, he would have passed away sooner. But like, it kind of woke him up, like, who is that in the house? Like, really curious. And I think it kind of just like perked him up. But trying to stay calm, guys. I'm trying to stay calm. But it was just, you know, it was his time. He was old. The lifespan of a Pekingese dog is 12 to 15 years, and he was on that, you know, that far end where he was, you know, getting to that 15-year mark. And, you know, I'm part of like some Pekingese Facebook groups, and some people's dogs make it to 18, 19, and 20, which is like a miracle if that can happen. But I knew that his time was, you know, coming, and it was just, everything was getting really difficult for him. He had a hard time walking. His hips, like, couldn't hold up his little legs, couldn't hold up his body that well anymore. So I got him glucosamine and something called Tenestra and these other supplements, fish oil. He had dementia towards the end. And he became completely blind. I couldn't do anything for the dementia or the blindness, but the glucosamine and the Nestor and the fish oil actually did help him. I got him some vitamins for his brain for like cognitive support. I don't know if that did anything. Honestly, I honestly believe that the thing that did the most was the glucosamine, like the joint supplements, and then getting Archie, getting a puppy, because it like lit a fire under his ass. Like, Gizmo was always extremely jealous. Always in his life, and like he didn't want anybody near me or anything like that. And so when Archie came along, he was like, what the fudge is this, you know? And it kind of woke him up and brought him back to life and to his old ways. So, but then like just towards the end, he had a hard time just walking and holding himself up, and I could tell he was in pain because he started to arch his back. And like, I didn't want to take him to the vet and see, you know, what else I could do for him. I didn't want to stretch out his life if the quality was no good. It was the arthritis and the dementia and just being blind, completely blind and walking into everything. Like, I had to pick him up and bring him outside because he couldn't do any steps. He couldn't even see where he was going. He was defecating inside the house in his kennel, like, and it was like so stressful on me because I was his caretaker. I was the one who would take care of him, and I don't regret taking care of him for like, what was it, maybe 5 or so months. I don't regret that at all. You know, bathing him when he would get himself dirty and washing his sheets and cleaning up. I mean, we had to diaper him towards the end, and I just thought that's not a life for a dog to be diapered. And actually the diaper was my husband Danny's idea. It wasn't even mine. So I knew that Danny loved him very much. We both did, and he was just like our family, and it was like super hard. And so I had started working part-time at my friend's chocolate shop, like around the holidays. I just picked up a couple shifts a week, around there. And I just remember coming home from work late one night last night because we ended up going to Trader Joe's, me and my friend, after work. And by the time I got home, because it's like a 40-minute drive, it was like 5:30. I had to make dinner. And then when my husband got home, Gizmo made a huge mess, and wasn't his fault. Nobody was mad at him, but like, he defecated in the office. We changed out the flooring, you guys, in the office. We took out the carpet, put Pergo, because if he had an accident, it would just be easier to clean up and he'd be more comfortable instead of sitting in a kennel. So like, we really went above and beyond and did as much as we could for him. We got him new cages, new kennels, new beds, new bowls, anything to make him easier, like different heights. And we just literally tried everything to make life easier for him, to see if it would help. And Danny came home one day. I was still at work, and I guess he had defecated everywhere, and he had dementia, so he would like walk into circles when he would, I don't know, he just had like these bouts where he would just walk into circles and get stuck behind furniture. And he was blind, so he couldn't see where he was going, and he had just gotten everything all over the office and all over himself. And I came home, and my husband was kind of upset because he had to clean it up. Obviously, he was home before I was, and he was kind of upset. And I says, now you kind of know what I've been going through the last 4 or 5 months. Like, it's a lot of work. It's like taking care of somebody in hospice in a weird way. And he was just like really upset, and he had said some things, and I know he didn't mean it. He just said it out of frustration, like about Gizmo. And I was like, I don't want to put Gizmo to sleep based out of anger or like not being able to sleep right or whatever, because I got to that point as well when Gizmo was sleeping upstairs with us in his kennel, and he would wake us up like 2 or 3 times a night in the middle of the night to go bathroom because he didn't want to do it on himself in the kennel. So I would have to take him out. Like, I was not getting any sleep at all. 0. Like, I would wake up at like 2 and then like 4, almost every night. That's why we ripped out the floors in the office downstairs, took out the carpet, pergo, like laminate, and said if he makes a mess, then it's just easier to clean there. I know it sounds horrible, but that's what we ended up doing. And he actually was a lot better in the office. I don't know, maybe the kennel made him anxious with his dementia. I don't know. But anyway, so, you know, he said some things out of anger, and I says, I don't want to make that kind of decision out of being, you know, upset, not anger, out of like just being frustrated. And so we cleaned him up, and I picked him up, and he had like feces on his backside because he was smearing all over the office floor. And I said, we got to give you a bath. And I picked him up and I looked at him and I said, I'm so sorry, Gizmo. I'm really sorry. And he just let out like these, like, I think it was 2 or 3 yelps, like he was telling me something. And so I kept thinking about it, and I was like, is he trying to tell me that he's just can't be here anymore because he's tired? Everybody says that your dog will tell you when they're tired and they don't want to be here anymore. And I kind of felt that in my heart. Sorry. I kind of felt that in my heart when I picked him up, and I apologized to him. So we gave him a bath, and then that night I couldn't sleep at all. I got up at 3 in the morning. We had diapered him that night. I got up to check on him and take him out. I picked him up, and his diaper was full. He peed in his diaper, which I was like, oh, diapers do work for dogs. And I took his diaper, I put him outside so he could go bathroom again if he had to, and he did. He peed outside. But as he was peeing, he couldn't hold himself up, and he fell to his side. And he had this blank stare in his eyes. He was just kind of looking straight forward. He couldn't like move his head and look up at me or anything. And he was peeing as he was laying on his side. And I felt so bad for him. And at that moment, like, I knew that he was telling me last night that he gave up. He couldn't do it anymore. His little body had gotten so tired. Excuse me, guys. Done with it, because a lot of you guys knew who Gizmo was. So that morning, when I took him out, and he just looked like he was just done. And I just knew in my heart that from what he told me the night before, honestly, like, I kept thinking about it. That's why I couldn't sleep. And then, like, him actually showing me that he was giving up, I was like, I can't put him through this. It's just getting worse. And I don't want to get to the point where he could walk, but like he was really struggling. And I didn't want it to get to the point where he just started dragging his legs and couldn't do anything. I was just like, I can't. He had lost almost all of his teeth. And he was tripping and falling a lot. So he would take like 10, 15 steps in the house, and then he would like collapse, and then he would try to get up, but he didn't have the strength to pick himself up, the poor dear. And then so he would just give up and fall asleep there, and he would just do that throughout the day. And what really killed me is that he was always trying to find his way to my feet. So I was like, he still wanted to be here, but his body just couldn't do it anymore. His little body, he was just tired. He was just so tired, and it was just so hard because this was my first dog as an adult. That was my dog, like nobody else's. Like, I had a dog when I was younger, and she got hit by a car, and it was super sad. And we all were like super, super upset about it. And like, we were all super upset about it. I was 17 years old or 18. I think I was 17. I was 17 years old, and it was so heartbreaking. But this is a little different because I was Gizmo's sole caretaker. And so was my husband, but mostly me. And we treated him like a kid. We treated him like he was a baby. We loved him. Not a baby, but like, we treated him like he was our child, like he was our family. Especially as being somebody who has a hard time conceiving children. Like, I don't have children, and there's a reason for that. It's not a decision. It's just like a medical reason. And so I loved Gizmo with everything that I had. And it's just so sad. And it hurt even more, like, to have to be the one to make that decision. So it was Saturday morning. I made the decision. I went upstairs. He was still sleeping. My husband was still sleeping. I told him we need to talk. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning. He got up, we talked, and I says, you have to call the vet today because I don't have the strength to do that. So he did, and he made the appointment, and the soonest appointment was on a Monday evening, like 4 p.m. So we took that appointment because that was the soonest, and it was like a dreadful 3 days. Like, it was horrible those 3 days because I knew that on that third day it would be his last day. So I tried to make him as happy as I could. That Saturday I made him a filet mignon and like a half a pound of ground beef, and he was super happy. And for being blind, he could always find his way to his dish, which made me happy because this kid always had like a major love for food. Always. He could probably, when he was a puppy, eat more food than I could in one sitting. Isn't that crazy? And the second day we got a rotisserie chicken, so he got chicken thighs, and I made him another pound of ground beef. Ate everything. No kibble, no medicine, no vitamins, just juicy meats, because that was his thing. He loved meat. And then it was really hard. And the Sunday, also with the food, we took him to his favorite park for his last walk. And if you like lifted his weight off on his harness, he could walk because you were pulling a lot of the weight for him. He really wanted to enjoy everything, and he did enjoy his walk. I have his stroller just in case he got tired. He really wanted to walk, so we let him walk. Hey, buddy. Archie's sitting with me. And then Monday was absolutely hard because Sunday I was like, this is his last night on earth, and I just knew, like, it was just horrible. Monday we took him in. Monday I gave him another pound of ground beef, and I made it fresh for him, and he got more chicken thighs. He ate everything, you guys. He was so happy with the food. And then we took him in. It's the hardest goodbye I had ever had to make. It was the most like beautiful hello that we've had, but the hardest goodbye. Because he was just like the most beautiful little soul. So my husband held his head while we said goodbye. And I stroked his face, and we told him that we loved him and that he's a good boy and that he's always been the best boy. And I thanked him for everything, for all the love. I thanked him for all the love, and I honestly felt his love for us in that room as he was taking his last breaths. And I swear, you guys, when he took his last breath, I felt that love leave the room with him. It was so hard. And he's gone now to a better place where there's no suffering. And he's at a place where, I don't know, maybe he can see us. Maybe he can feel my love for him still. Like, I'll never forget the kid. It's hard now because it's fresh. It's only been like 2 weeks. But, it's only been like a little over 2 weeks, but I pray like he's gonna be with me for the rest of my life because I have him tucked in my heart and I just love him. I'll never stop loving him. It's just been hard and it's taken a toll on me when he's been sick, like with my weight and just like concentrating on myself, because I'm the kind of person that when I worry, I just worry with my entire heart, and it's hard for me to concentrate on anything. And then just like this whole year between COVID, my mom's entire side of the family getting sick, which was scary. And then we had a family friend that got really sick on a ventilator, which was really scary. And then like my mom getting sick this year, having a stroke and not having been able to be with her in the hospital, and like the stress of that. And I know that there's like a million worse things in the world right now, but this is just my world and what's going on in it. And it's just been a hard 2020 for everybody. It was hard and stressful. I don't know if there was a lot of, I mean, I'm sure there were good things that came out of 2020. We got Archie and I was really happy that I have him. But just like everything that happened in the world and then like that went on in my family, and just Gizmo losing my absolute best friend right before Christmas was like the hardest thing. I honestly thought I would have him before Christmas. I had bought him gifts and all of these things, and I thought that he was gonna be with us, and I was like, I'm gonna get another dog in this coming spring, and if Gizmo's still here, I'll take care of him because I've been a caretaker. Like, but he let me know, and I couldn't put him through any of that anymore. He was just a beautiful little soul. He loved me so much, and I loved him so much, and I'll never forget him. He'll always be family. We have Archie now, and I am on a list with 4 different breeders to get one more Pekingese puppy. Archie really loved having a playmate, and I felt bad having to take that away from him, although Gizmo couldn't do much because it was pretty much like he was in hospice care. So I think that adding another dog to the family will be really good and fun, and it's just more love that we're going to add into our household. So this year has been really hard. Just the stress of losing my best friend was like the cherry on top, and it was just hard because I was the one that had to make the decision. It was like we were getting ready for a funeral, but it was also like death row. Like we were the ones that were doing it, and then we were going to be at his funeral. It was just like the worst feeling, and I guess that's something that I have to learn. It was an experience of having your own dog, that you have to be a responsible dog owner, and if they don't pass away on their own, which is what we were hoping for, but his little body just kept going, that you are the one that's going to have to make that decision. So that's what we did. We made the decision for him, even though I feel like in my heart he told me that he just couldn't do it anymore. And so that was the end of 2020. It was super sad. Hey buddy. 2020 was super sad. But I'm really hoping, I don't know, with the start of 2021 now, it's crazy. I'm hoping 2021 is better. I know, you're such a sweetheart. I'm hoping 2021 is better. I need to get back on track for myself, for my health. And I've started this week with my friend Mary. I'll make a different video about, like, I'm doing eye track bites and a different program. And, okay, thank you. And yeah, that's been the end of 2020, and I'm hoping 2021 is better. And I'll never forget Gizmo, you guys. And I don't know, some of you guys knew him, and if you didn't, you guys, he was just an amazing, amazing little soul. And I'm sure you guys know, if you have dogs, that they're just angels in disguise. They're angels without wings here on earth. I honestly believe that. So yeah, that was really hard to talk about, but I wanted to address it because I felt like I had to address it, because some of you guys knew who Gizmo was just, by sticking around on my channel for a long time. And you know, that hard chapter of my life is over now, and it still hurts, and I'm trying to get over it. It's not that easy, but I have to like move on, and I don't want to get myself sick. That's like the most important thing, because I felt like if I was a disaster the week that everything happened, like from the stress and the crying, I honestly believe that I would be like super sick. I would have gotten super sick if I just let it go. So I've been taking CBD oil, which has helped tremendously with my anxiety and my sadness. It's still there, but it has helped, and it's just hard to move on, and I'm sure it'll get better as time goes by. And I think that adding another dog will definitely help, just adding more love into the family. And you're so sweet, aren't you? And just taking better care of myself, because I have neglected myself the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 months at least, because I was so stressed out with Gizmo. I knew what was coming. I honestly knew it was coming, and every day in my head I was in my own personal hell, because I was like, when is the day? When am I going to have to make the decision? It was like hospice care. Actually, I was part of this veterinary group on Facebook for hospice care for animals, and what I was going through was hospice care. So yeah. Well, thank you guys for hanging out with me, and I do plan on making some other videos. Actually, I'm going to end this one right here and start a new video where I talk about what my plans are for the new year. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry I have a boogery crybaby face. It was really hard to talk about, and I just wanted to get it off my chest and talk about it with you guys. So thank you guys so much, and we'll talk soon. Bye guys.